tonight. But I do have to ask, is there any more advice that you'd like to give to some of these young athletes that are in attendance tonight as they continue through, their high school and, for many of them, their college careers?
I mean, we could probably talk all night. Love to give advice and answer questions. But if there's one piece of advice is that, I remember growing up and being your age and, sitting in the spot that you were in, dreaming of what was going to be next. And, it was always easy for me to kind of set goals and dreams on the football field. This is what I want to accomplish. These are the goals. I want to win an MVP. I want to win a Super Bowl and all those things. But if there's one piece of advice that I would give all of you as you move forward, and it doesn't even have to be in sports, but in whatever you do, it's spend time thinking about who you want to be as opposed to what you want to accomplish. Spend time thinking about who you want to be before you spend your time deciding what you want to accomplish. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is decide the kind of person that you want to be, how you want to represent yourself, what you want people to say about you, what you want them to remember about you when it's all said and done. And, I think about this all the time as lessons that I've learned along the way that I want to apply to everything that I do. And it's not just that I want to accomplish something on the football field. I wanted to be a certain kind of guy. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be recognized as a hard worker, right? I wanted to be the guy that was more prepared than everybody else. But spend some time saying, okay, when it's all said and done, what do I want people to say about you? What do I want people to say about me? And for a long time, it was always, I wanted to say I'm the best football player or the best quarterback or, you accomplished more than somebody else. But somewhere along the way, that switched. And I realized that I want people to say he was this kind of person. He represented this. When I think about my kids growing up, I don't care if they ever talk about how many touchdown passes I threw. I want them to talk about the dad that I was, right? The father that I was to them, the husband that I was to my wife, the teammate that I was to my teammates, the way I represented myself and my family in every facet, in every area that I went to. And I believe that greatness in whatever field you're in will follow when you decide to be great as an individual. And that's not just trying to check a box, right? I think everybody as an athlete, the one thing they always say is, I'm going to be the hardest worker. Well, I promise you, not every one of you will be the hardest worker. It just won't play out like that. Some of us, that's not necessarily our DNA, that we're going to separate ourselves by being the hardest worker. That's okay. You still work hard without being the hardest worker. But how are you going to separate yourself? How are you going to be different? How are people going to remember you in a way that's different than they remember anybody else that they were around, any other teammate they had, right? Any other friend that they had as you guys move forward? And that would be my first piece of advice. Spend some time thinking about the kind of person that you want to be, how you want to be remembered by those around you right now, 5 years from now, and 20 years from now.
Love that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Kurt Warner.